What's up, guys? This is Captain Stackmiller. I'm here today to put up a little video for the safety team. Here with the rest of my crew, Captain Joe Shred and Chief Kana are actually part of the safety team as well. So, excuse me. As you guys know, we've been running through some issues with some backing and driver-operator safety, and coming down the pipe is a new update to Operational Standard 314. This will be driver-operator guidelines. We've been tasked to put together a little bit on the backing apparatus, as well as doing some key points that include safety of your apparatus, which are 360s, and wearing headsets, and new hand signals as well. So in a little bit, I'll run you guys through the video with Captain Shred, put together the new hand signals, which I'll show you here before we get started. But just so you guys know, if you ever have anything that you want to bring up safety-wise, don't hesitate to let us know as well. Captain Stackmiller, Captain Joe Shred and Chief Kana are all on the safety team. So let me run you through the hand signals before we get started. These are ones we want you guys to work with moving forward. They're going to keep everyone in a uniform line when we're backing apparatus. That is going to include one person outside the truck as your spotter, which you all know. If you can't get anybody, make sure you do that complete 360. We're going to have to try to avoid backing at any chance we get. But let me show you these hand signals now. This one's going to be backing straight up. This one is going to be backing to your right, the driver's right. This one is going to be backing to the left. And then the, as we all know, stop. Now we're trying to get these hand signals all uniform. Put your hands up high so the backer can see them, the driver, and be using, like I said, the headsets, windows down, emergency lights, wide open areas, scene lights, anything that you can use to make it a safer situation when backing these large apparatus. I want to touch on 360 of the apparatus with you guys. If at all there's ever a chance that you have to back up, whatever the situation may bring you to, one-man apparatus, dead end, whatever it may be, 360 is definitely going to be involved in that, and driving your apparatus anywhere initially. Say you're in the bay, you guys get a call, a captain left their boots out, or somebody left the back door open, or somebody used some tools. The job of you as a driver and the rest of the crew as well is to make sure to do a quick 360 and making sure everything's secure. That's walking around outside of the truck, checking all your doors around the side, around the back, making sure your ladder rack is locked and secure, making sure the tires are fully inflated and you have good tread, which should be done in your early check sheet in the morning, but it's always good to make sure. And then finishing off on the other side of your rescue or engine or ladder and making sure all the doors are secure, shut, and you guys are ready to operate fully moving forward. Another thing I'd like to touch on with you guys is backing into the bay. We have a lot of big, beautiful new stations that are pull through, which is great. Make sure you get that proper angle to get up to your door to drive in straight correct. Making sure your mirrors are clear as well as your bay door is completely up. And always check your overhead as well as a driver. Look it up. You know, our ladder trucks are pretty tall, and anything else, the bay doors have mechanical failures at times, and we understand that. So always keep an eye out as a driver of overhead obstructions as well. But when backing into a bay, we want to pull up to the bay, such as 32 still has a back-in station. Pull up, make sure you pull the e-brake as the driver. Your captain or your medic in the back can disembark from the truck, making sure you are clear in the roadway. The driver will turn their emergency lights on. Pull up, make sure there's no traffic coming, and use your proper hand signals that we spoke about earlier as backing into the station. And also an important key component of that is opening an extra bay door, or all the bay doors, so it lightens the area for you. We know it can get pretty dark in some of the stations during the day or at night. So open some bay doors and let some more light in, or make sure all your overhead lights are on. These are all, again, key components to make it safer and easier for you guys on the street. All right, guys, hopefully you were able to watch the video and get an idea of what we're looking for. I want to touch on some necessary components that are going to be involved when backing any apparatus, a rescue, a ladder, an engine. If you have a second person in the apparatus, use them. If you have a third person, use them as a second spotter. It's better to be safe than sorry later on. So a couple necessary components I want to talk about. Windows down in the apparatus. If it's not just a driver window, it has to be at least the driver, but the other ones will help. You know it's loud in the truck, the headsets are great. Wireless headsets, if you have them, use them. The emergency lights, turn them on. That's what the truck is used for. Turn on emergency lights so everyone knows that you're doing something they shouldn't be around. Moving on from there, we got maintaining visual contact with your spotter from the driver mirror all the way back. That spotter has to be at least 5 to 10 feet off the left corner of the bumper. If that driver loses contact with them at any point, stop the apparatus, stop the truck, until you can visually contact them again, either by a secondary contact with their headsets, or getting out of the truck, doing your 360, again, a secondary 360 to find out where they're at and what's going on. All of these, again, are necessary components that we want each and every spotter, driver, personnel on the field doing to practice a better safety with backing and driving our apparatus. A couple other key points are nighttime driving. Obviously, we weren't able to do some nighttime driving right now, but wear your vest. On the highway, in the roadway, anywhere that you are going to be outside the apparatus, wear your vest. But at night, definitely have your vest on. Using flashlight. We have plenty of flashlights on the trucks. We have them in our gear, in the truck, box light, anything. Make it easier for that driver to see you. Your scene lights. We've got these big trucks with big, beautiful LED scene lights. Turn them on. Make it easy to see. All these are very important safety key factors for doing what we do. Obviously, we don't have a DE position yet, but every different person may have to drive that truck at some point in their career. So make sure you guys practice these safety points and stay safe out there.
Roughly 1 out of every 4 accidents involves backing. Considering that the average driver operates in reverse less than 1 mile every year, this statistic is even more alarming. Captains, crews, and street personnel. We all know that driving is the most common thing we do, and yet the least trained we are for it. So please, get out and do some practice in apparatus familiarization, maneuvering, and especially backing. At any point, any one of us could have to drive an apparatus. Set up some small driving tests, a mini EVOC course. You can even go grab some cones from Fleet or the training department.